Hello friends! Welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be doing a flip through of all of my October after the pen spreads here in my catch-all planner. I'll be going through my faith section, my daily, my health, and my social sections, all with different layouts. And I'll be explaining just, how I plan in this planner a little bit as well. We'll skip through the planner setup, but if you are interested in that, I do have a video of just my planner setup, and I will link it in the end credits as well as in the description below. So let's jump in. The very first section in my scheduled area of my planner is my faith planner. And I'm currently using a Franken planner type setup where I have the dividers and the currentlies from an undated planner that I got a long time ago, and am using that along with my inserts from my shop, which is the quadrant layout, which you'll see as we go through. But these two items here are from a Happy Planner unboxed or undated box set that I got, like I said, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I really like the box set. However, it is in a vertical format, the entire planner, and I just had trouble planning in a vertical planner, so I never really was able to utilize it the way that I wanted to. However, the styling and everything was just so beautiful, I really wanted to use it. So that was how I kind of Franken planned these two together. Since it's a faith-based planner, there is a currently page that goes with each section, and it has more faith-based prompts, which I really like. So I usually fill these out, as well as it has like spiritual goals, grateful, prayer list, and then it has a little space here for birthdays, but I usually cover that up and just extend my prayer list down into it. But this is how it turned out for the month of October. Really liked this setup. The yellow was kind of an interesting choice for October, but I really liked it. It was very bright and kind of a pick-me-up in the morning, so I really like that part of it. Next we have the monthly layout. Again, this is the insert from my shop, part of the quadrant layout combined planner. And I did a Seeing God's Miracles scripture study that kind of encompassed different miracles of God. I really enjoyed this. I was a little concerned when I first started because the first couple of verses are just about God will do miracles. It was a little bit weird. So I was like, is this going to just be saying that God will do miracles the whole time? I was a little concerned, but it did start to actually address certain miracles as I went through, specifically in the Old Testament, I believe. There really wasn't any New Testament stuff in here. That was good because I just wanted to be more familiar with those kind of miracles. So that was really nice. And I just did a quick summary of each miracle as I went through each day above the verses themselves. The theme this month was kind of like a watercolor florals theme. So you'll see as we go through, everything will kind of be themed out and match. If you like this theme and you want to see how I created it, I do plan with me's on pretty much all the sections except for social. So you can, go to that specific week and look at how I set it up and what stickers I used and just all of the details about the actual decor, and grab the information from there. So if you're looking for something in particular or a design in particular, do check out the plan with me from that week in the month, and they should all be in there. I don't think I missed any for the month of October. Also, I just wanted to show you guys this little hack that I kind of set up for this month because it's a split day and I needed all that room to write, and it turned out great. First time I ever used this kind of like overlay box hack, but like I said, it really worked out great. It gave me plenty of room to write and it still looks really clean and neat here on the spread. So okay, so that was how the month turned out. Here is the first week of October. The way I use my faith planner is I write a verse of the day from an app called YouVersion Bible app, and I just basically let whatever it's fed in there be the verse that I use, and I write it in. It's a way for me to kind of practice my lettering. Also, it gets me more in touch with what I'm reading. I try to interpret what I'm reading, and just kind of gives a little bit more meaning to each verse as I sit down and really think about how I would write that out. So that's the way I use this planner. I don't really do any devotionals or anything. It's mostly right now focused in on just writing the verse of the day and the monthly challenge, whatever I choose to do each month. So again, this is how it turned out, and I thought the first week came out pretty well. And here is the second week. Some notes about what I'm using. I use a couple of different types of markers. Let me grab them so you can see. So I have these Arteza Twi markers, which I have a big set of like 100, so I have all the colors that I need, and they have both a really fine felt tip on one side and then a small brush tip on the other. And that's great. I usually pick 1 to 2 colors, well, usually 2 colors plus black each month to use throughout the month, just so that it doesn't get too chaotic and colorful. So this month I chose this kind of green and then this burnt orange tone, or I guess it's more of like a peachy orange. I don't know. It's called Earth Red. It's a little bit different. So anyway, so I picked those 2 colors and I use those throughout the month. I just kind of alternate them. So that's the main color for the spread. And then I also have 2 black pens that I use. The first one is this Pigma Micron, which is a 0.3 tip or 0.3 pen. And I really like that for the fine black lettering. Lastly, I have this Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip brush pen, which I use for the small brush lettering. That works great for this kind of more contained brush lettering where you have to have, pretty small strokes, but gives you a lot of control with the hard tip, which is great for beginner letterers. I keep saying that I'm a beginner. I've been doing this for now, almost a year, so I should be maybe intermediate by now, but it comes and it goes. I feel like sometimes, some mornings my hand is on and I feel like I have, great control, and then some other days it just looks kind of sloppy, and I'm not sure how to fix that exactly. I guess more drills would probably help. I don't do any lettering drills. I just kind of wing it, and so that's probably why it hasn't improved to be more consistent. But overall, I think just the styling and stuff, sometimes it looks better than others as well. It just depends on what I'm feeling and how I'm doing it. But anyway, so that's the pen that I use, and I really think it's a great pen to start brush lettering with, especially if you're doing it in a planner in a kind of more contained space, and if you are a beginner and trying to learn how to get control. This really helps, this hard tip pen. So those are the pens that I use, and this is how the week turned out. So here is the next week, and again, another kind of note about how I do this. I don't really look at too much for inspiration, but I do have kind of a repertoire of things that I do to help create some variety in the lettering. I do kind of vary the height of the like crossbars, if you will. So like the B having the top being really small and then the bottom really big, and that, all the ones across the top are higher up. And then there's the opposite of that where they're all kind of near the bottom. Thickness, they're really skinny versus being kind of fat. Different, all caps versus title case or just regular case. And then, there's the actual brush lettering, and then there's like the monoline cursive script lettering. So there's some variations that I kind of just have in my repertoire that I think about while I'm composing each day. And then also doodles as well, just kind of adding those in here and there where I feel like they help portray the verse better. So that is how the third week turned out. And this was the very final week of October. And again, using all those same things I just mentioned. I thought it was a pretty good month. I will say week 2 was a little bit rough. I didn't really like so much the styling on most of week 2, but the rest of it I felt like came together pretty well. So that is how I use my faith planner, and on the back there is a kind of a blank notes page on my inserts. I don't use this page. What I end up doing is taking the back of the currently from the previous month, and I am now sticking these two together. So when I put this into my planner, I will glue this down to the previous one. I will glue this guy down to the previous month, and then that way I don't have to carry the back of this section with my planner if I keep them kind of separate for now, which is nice because I really hate having the currently on the back of a week, which is how it's set up usually. And this way I can kind of just have the currently page in there, go straight to it, and then I don't have to worry about having half a spread hanging out there on the back. So, okay. Well, I will go ahead and move this over. I'm just going to go ahead and grab it out now and do that real quick. Oops. And here is the actual planner that I keep all of the months in. So this just stays on my desk and I feed in to it each month. So let me go to the back. We're pretty much almost at the end here. Yeah. So yeah, so now what I'll end up doing is gluing this side onto this, and that'll be it, and then we go into the next month. So that is my faith planner. I've already moved in November, so we're all set up. Oh, you know what? I think I grabbed, I did. I grabbed my prayer list page, the currently page, and I need that. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay. So yeah, so I have everything kind of set up. I have my faith overview tab, which I just go to first, do my prayer, review anything here, then I will go to my faith month and then my faith week and move forward through each section in the morning without really flipping through the pages. I just go through these tabs. Okay, so let's jump ahead to the next section, which is my daily section. And I lead off the daily section here with a few things. I have some schedules that I made, and I mention this each time, but I did do a video on how to set up all 3 of these different schedules at once, and it's in my productivity series, so you can look for that if you are interested in these. But yeah, so I have my morning routine, my master weekly schedule, so this is if everything goes to plan and it goes in the order that I want it to go, then this is like my perfect week. Then I have this block schedule, which is just like a way to organize my day without it being as structured as that master schedule. So those 3 are really helpful, and if you want more information about that, check that video out. Okay, so now we get into the actual schedule section of the daily planner, which starts off with my monthly layout from my shop, and it's part of the horizontal layout, which you're going to see through most of the daily. So I did a horizontal in my daily section. For the month of October, I did kind of like a fall theme, as you can see, but I use my monthly layouts to memory keep, since they're not really that useful for me as just like for data, because I don't usually have that much going on. Lately it's been a little crazy, but usually I have 1 or 2 things to write on it and then it just goes empty. So at the beginning of the year I started using it as a type of memory keeping, and I just write down one thing that happened each day as a way of just keeping track of time and just seeing how the month went, because the days just kind of start rolling into each other and it's like Groundhog's Day every day. So that has been really nice, just to have a little bit of an idea of what was going on in my life and specific month or, time. But for this month, I also actually added a little fall bucket list here just to try to keep me interested in doing things that were more seasonal and, as little reminders. And I did do a few of them. I didn't do as many as I had hoped, but it was still fun to kind of like look at it and try to think about how I might be able to achieve that week. And so it does get me a little bit out of my comfort zone and thinking about things outside my routine. And so here's how it turned out. I just used a plain black pen. I used that Micron that I showed earlier with the faith. And I just write something down, usually with a little doodle or something, but very simple, all black. I think it turned out good. So here is the first week of October in my planner. And what I did here is I did like a fall bucket list style theme as well, but kind of like a collage, and kind of added in some fall ideas. Let me check and see what the theme was this week. I'm not sure if I used a Plannable Challenge theme or not. It was called I'm Fall In, so I think I did do this for that theme. I'm Fall In, kind of like, all the fall things falling in. So that was my interpretation. And it was pretty cute. I did enjoy looking at it. Let's see. Standard layout for me on my horizontal is to do a checklist each day, and then I usually will have something that's kind of like a focus or like an appointment or something, and I try to highlight it with either a box or just its own little section so I know that that's the important things for the day. And like I said, it has been extra busy, so I've had a lot of little things I need to keep track of, so my focus boxes have turned into their own checklists in a way. So this is how the week turned out, and I thought it was pretty good. And next we have I think I did this one in my health. So this one was just a fall theme. So I really wanted to use the new seasonal floral stickers, and I think that this spread came out pretty nice. Just did some clusters here and there. I used one of these for a weekly checklist, and then also here kind of extended it into this section as well. And it was just really nice to look at, very elegant. I enjoyed this layout quite a bit. And next we have this one, which was Hey Pumpkin. So that was the theme for this week. I oftentimes forget. I don't know, it was just a few weeks ago, but I already forgot the name. So this one was really fun. I really enjoyed using this like washi tape paper that I had. It just brought this really bold orange feel to it. And plus it was, about pumpkins, so the color was just perfect. The clusters were cute. I used some pumpkins from the Michael's Recollections stickers. That was really nice. And overall, I just thought this was a really fun fall spread. I really enjoyed this like vibrant color quite a bit, so this one was fun. And then lastly, this was for the Beautiful Blackout theme, and it was fun to set up, but I'm gonna have to tell you, I know for sure, 100% now, I'm not a vertical planner. I felt so lost all week trying to keep track of where things were, and it just did not work for me. I tried so hard to make this work. I tried to make it fun and cute and, do different styling, but a couple of things that just drove me insane were having to use white pen in some areas and then black pen in another. That did not work. The lack of color was kind of also a little bit unmotivating. So even that light blue, I tried to bring in a little bit through some highlighters, but it just wasn't enough. And like I said, it was just really hard to keep track of where things were for me. It just wasn't natural. I kept losing track of what I should be looking at, and I didn't know where to put stuff, and I don't know. So this is how it turned out, and so if you're a vertical planner, this might feel a little bit more natural to you, but as a horizontal planner and as somebody who kind of sticks with black pen pretty much through the whole week, the varying pens was also a huge distraction for me, and so Although I think it turned out pretty good as far as functionality and organization, it was a disaster for me this week, I will say. So I'll be happy to turn the page on this and try something else for November. I'm trying a different setup the first week of November, so that should be something that's a little bit more functional for me. And finally, I have my habit tracker, and it was going great in the beginning-ish, and then it just really like dropped off. So this last week was really rough. I don't know if this bread had something to do with it, which is quite possible, but yeah, it was rough. So anyway, this is how the habit tracker turned out. This is also from my shop. So I replaced the back page that was just the plain monthly end notes page with the dot grid with this habit tracker each month. And that's just a nice way for me to get some use out of this back page and keep track of things that I want to improve and, focus in on each day. I use different colors to help me track kind of different sections of my life, and then also, as I'm going down, it just helps me go through and figure out what I'm marking down. I use this pen, this 4-color friction pen, to do that, so I don't have to change out pens. I just use this guy all the way down, and it's really simple. Just use the ink. All of my normal daily pens are erasable, so this one and my black friction pen here at the front are 100% erasable, and that is key for me. It just makes it easier for me to see how things are turning out and how I can, kind of visually see at a glance each section by color. So that is the end of my October daily setup. So I'm going to go ahead and move that out as well. This is my actual daily planner, and it's, again, kind of created, Franken-planned with different covers and discs and what have you. I even created the dividers. So all of the sections, though, are the horizontal combined planner from my shop, plus this habit tracker at the back. Let me grab out these pages. And we're good to go. So again, this guy will just go onto my desk and stay there till next month. I've already got November in, and again, I just flip through. I start with the schedules, month, week, and then the habits at the end. And that is how I navigate through this planner. So next we have my health section, and in here I start it off with some health trackers. This guy has my health goals on the front. It opens up into a weight and measurements tracker, which we'll just keep hidden, and then on the back we have a little countdown of weight loss. So it's not going so well. I haven't had any new boxes to fill in months, so we're just going to leave that down there. I also have a few things in here that I just kind of wrote notes about weight training and diet and things like that I keep in this section here, as well as a little home base for my workout stickies, which I use to pre-plan some weeks in my weekly, so I can kind of figure out what workouts I'm supposed to do. That is that first part, and then we jump into the dated section. This planner is, again, from my shop, and this one is the health combined layout. So this monthly layout is actually the lined monthly layout from my shop. And I placed it out because I knew I was going to use the monthly layouts for tracking my symptoms each day for some of my chronic issues, and I really wanted it to look a little bit neater than it had in the past, where I was just freehanding it in the empty boxes. So that is how I use pretty much my monthly spreads for the whole year. I've been doing that, and I use the top to kind of track what medications, supplements, things that I'm using, just in this little like highlighted section. I have a little symbology that I use to make it a little easier to write things in, and I have a key which I've already moved into the next month, but it just kind of, tracks whatever symbol, what each symbol means in corresponding to whatever supplement or medication. So I've been using that, and I also usually put some goals here in the sidebar. Sometimes I look at it, sometimes I don't. It really just is there as a thought to write it down to hopefully maybe get me thinking about it a little bit more. But I do notice I really, when I come to this spread every morning, I just really focus in on the day, and I tend not to look around too much. It's good to have it there, but again, it doesn't really drive me to those goals like it could. But anyway, so this is how it turned out. It's pretty plain. I don't do any setup videos for this because it's just done on a whim and however I'm feeling. So that is how I continue to use it. So here's how the first week of October turned out. And I really liked this theme a lot, even though it took quite a bit to set it up. The pink and the orange was a really good combination, and just like the leaves kind of blowing in the breeze, I thought turned out really good. Yeah, this one was really cute. It came from the student seasonal sticker book I've had in my stash for a long time, and I kind of wanted to use up some of these extra stickers that have just been sitting around with no home, and that really worked out well. So that's how the spread actually turned out. The way that I use these spreads is at the top I usually have my workouts, and then I have my nutrition, and then my stats for the week. I have some habits I usually track here in the sidebar, and then the hydration, which is part of the actual overall health layout in my shop. And then I'll usually have some goals here that I kind of try to work towards for the week. And I did fall break in particular because this was a week where my class was coming to an end and I had all my assignments done. And so I had a little bit more time to really take a breather before my next module of my class started, and it was just a nice way to kind of have a little bit of a break from the normal routine and the hustle and bustle. So I thought that was an appropriate use this week. So here's how the second week turned out, and this one was part of the Plannable Challenge. The theme this week was This Witch's Brew. And I don't tend to go into these type of themes too often. I know a lot of people have fun with these themes. I thought that it would be cute to kind of more focus in on the brew part of it. So the Wicked Without Coffee was the theme. And so I have like this purple and orange theme, which I thought turned out cute. And again, kind of the same with setup. I had all of the workouts at the top. Here I had some decor, nutrition, stats, habit trackers, health, goals. And yeah, so the setup usually stays pretty consistent from week to week. Some people have asked me about the times that I put here. So I try to fast each day till 3 is usually the goal, 3 p.m. and then I eat from 3 to 11 p.m. and then I start my fast again for the next day. So a 16-hour fast is the goal. However, it really depends on the day. Sometimes I don't follow it very closely. It's really loose. It's just something I have in the back of my mind, but it's not something that I'm like strict on. So that's what the times are. This is the time where I actually end up breaking my fast. I'm going to try to be more consistent about it. I have eliminated most of the items that would have broken my fast early in the morning. Like sometimes I used to add coconut milk to my coffee, and I cut that out, so hopefully my fast is a little bit more strict in that sense, but I need to get the times really nailed down. So that's what those are here, and it's just helpful to kind of see where I did well, and if there was anything that might have affected it, like if I had a really hard workout the night before, sometimes that makes me hungrier the next day, that kind of thing. So here is how the week turned out. And next we have just like a Squad Girls theme that I pulled together. I haven't really bought a lot of the new sticker books. I've honestly, if you guys are into, decorating with stickers and the Happy Planner stickers in particular, I just haven't felt really excited about many of their books lately. And so I'm trying to use up the stash I have. I have a lot of stickers just kind of sitting in the wings that are a little bit mismatched too. I found that a lot of them I've used some, but not all, so I have like some random stickers here and there. So I've been trying to use those guys up instead of buying books that I might not really use or only really want like 1 or 2 pages of stickers out of. I don't know if you guys feel the same way about some of these books, but I'm really into decor stickers, so they only tend to put out those kind of stickers, seasonal stickers like that, and then like florals. I've seen a lot more like decor heavy books. Otherwise, it seems like there's just a ton of functional stickers that I'm never going to use, and then like a couple of pages of decor stickers. So it is what it is. It has made me kind of start looking more into small shops. I just, haven't really used up the stash that I have now, and I just can't see, spending a lot of money on new stickers if I have stickers that I can still use. But anyway, so for this theme in particular, I pulled in, a little bit of a rainbow theme with some mild liners and, kind of a hodgepodge of things. A few squad girls with the fall themes, some leaves, just color and black. And I think it turned out actually really good. I was worried it was not going to be that good in the beginning, but the addition of the color, especially this, I think really helped. This kind of rainbow section of things really helped create more of a cohesive color scheme. Even though this at the top is a little bit more random, I just liked that part of it, and it kind of brought everything together, I felt. So this is how it turned out, and I again thought it turned out pretty cute at the end once it was all kind of said and done. And then here is the last week of October. This one I kind of did a pumpkin patch at night theme. I really wanted to use up some pumpkins that I know I wouldn't use in a normal setting outside of October. So I had these pumpkins with like a black outline, which if you watch my channel, it's a really annoying thing to me to have stickers that are like clear stickers but have a black background, or even paper stickers that have a background attached to them and you're putting them on white. I just don't like that. I don't know why, but I'd rather have a clean outline of white or clear and then put my own color behind it if I choose to. So for this theme, in order to kind of camouflage those black backgrounds, I did some watercolor creams and kind of created like a night sky, and then some like dirty, patch here, some dirt in the patch, kind of in the darker themes as well to kind of camouflage again that black outline, and added in a few other like little highlights with my white pen, and that really helped because I was not really thinking about how the orange would see through and kind of pick up the black from behind, so everything was really dark. The white kind of helped bring some vibrancy out with the pen. I also made a change actually from a suggestion from a viewer who said it would be really cool to have a moon in the sky so that it was like shining light onto the pumpkins, and that was kind of like the highlight. And I thought it was a really good idea. So this originally was up here. I moved it down and then added a watercolor sticker that I used a few months back. I had punched a bunch of these circles and had some extras left over, and I just brought it in, and it worked out really great as a kind of like a moonscape for this spread. So it's a little change. I added a little bit of white decor to kind of give it a little bit of a glow, a white pen, and it turned out good. So overall, a nice spread. I moved my stats up into this middle section, as you can see here, which is a little bit of a variation so that I could have the bottom for the decor. And that's it. And finally, I used the very back page, that month end page, for health stats tracking for a month view. So that's how I used this last page, and I used just a kind of a plain orange marker, bullet journal style setup. I do this every month, and I put in my monthly totals that I want to reach and my actual, same with the daily averages, and then kind of like an overview of how the month went, which I was surprised that I hit 4 goals. This last week was just such a disaster. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was like 0 workouts almost the whole week. So I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was, but it did definitely put a fire under me to do better this month, reviewing just how, how poorly I did. It really helps me to kind of refocus and get back on track to see, where things have gotten off. So that's, one of the benefits of doing this, taking the time to actually review these information really helps me personally to take accountability for what I'm doing and improve going forward. Okay, so I've already got November in. We're going to go ahead and move out October. And here is the health planner for that holds all of my health planner months. It has in the back as well a section of all of my old health inserts. So old trackers, things for my weight and measurements, things that I use for workout plans, all that. I just keep in this one tab in the back of my health planner and can reference it at will. And this guy is also a little bit freaking planned with the dividers I've made, and I have all my inserts in here, discs and cover. I've changed out a lot of the discs, which you might notice in the planners as we go through, because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for 2022. So some of these I stole the discs that were originally there and put in whatever I wasn't going to be using next year so that I would have the discs that were on here at my disposal for next year's planners. So that's what you're kind of seeing here. If you see some changes, I wouldn't normally have put the rainbow discs on this planner, but that was what I had left. So that's what ended up here. And I don't think it looks bad. It's just not my first choice. And okay, so like I said, health month and week are already in there for November, so we can jump ahead to the beginning of my last planner we'll be going through, which is my social. My social planner is actually a happy planner. It is the Homebody seasonal planner from 2021, and I use the beginning here for social growth. So my first tab is just a tracker of my subscribers and followers for the entire month, or for the entire year actually, in this perpetual calendar. So I just do blue and black to differentiate the colors pretty easily visually. First one is Instagram, and the second one is YouTube. It's just nice to have an overview to see how I progress from month to month, and the daily fluctuations. So like I said, this is the very first backing of the perpetual calendar, so I have to keep it in here. So one of those pet peeves, but again, this is just from January, so it's not really something I reference as I go through the month. Also, to the Happy Planner dividers have the month on the back, so I need to keep the divider in, but again, I don't really reference that at all. I just go straight to the month layout when I'm going through the sections. So this is how I set up the monthly view for my social media planner, and this planner is very decorated. As you can see, it has seasonal themes, so both for September, October, and November that will have this nice fall theme, and I'll carry that through most of my designs as you go through into November's weeklies. I really liked this kind of leafy pattern. The previous quarter, I really didn't like the leaves that they used as much, so I covered it a lot more. But for here, I kind of just left it alone. And I also don't do too much decorating here on the monthly. It's mainly color-coded using just my 4-color pen. I use the blue to track my Instagram posts. The green are videos, and then I use red to kind of do anything that's a call out or a change. And then on the sidebar, I usually put in the plannable themes, which is what I kept referencing earlier in the video, just to see what the theme was if I forgot. So anyway, this is how I set up my social. and it is a dashboard layout. Like I mentioned, it's a little bit of a variation on the dashboard because it has this extra long task list, which I actually really like. So that is the only real difference. And the way I set it up, I usually put my videos for the week here, and I have a little sticker that I made a while back that just kind of helps me track the production process. I will also put them usually at the top here on the days where they're supposed to be going live, and then I also use the rest of these sections for Instagram posts. So that's how I use it. And then again, red is like a call out. So this was the Monday where Facebook and Instagram crashed, if you guys remember that. That was kind of interesting. So there's that. I'll go over this page on the next spread. On this side of the page, I usually have a list of tasks that I want to accomplish for the week. And then over here is where I just do like my routine things, and then as I get them done, I color in the circles, and then any things that I need to kind of pay attention to, I put in this box. But that's really it. And then I also will again track my followers and subscribers each week and the actual change as we go through, so that I can just kind of see it, you know, the actual plus and minus numbers throughout the week. This was a week that I actually released the Christmas DIY video, and that really helped spike some interest in YouTube, I noticed. So that was kind of nice to see, and it gave me a little bit of a feedback on what you guys want to see more of. So hopefully I can get that going for you guys in the next month or two. Again, you know, I've been really busy, so the decor is pretty minimal. These stickers in particular, I just had in my stash. They were sent to me, and I thought that they were cute as far as fall stickers, but not my normal go-to. So I just kind of played them around where I saw that they could fit in, but nothing too drastic. Really more focused on just getting the content down and keeping it functional. So here is the third week, and again, I don't do setup videos on this because, like I said, I just see what stickers I have at my disposal, what I need, and I just throw them on the page. I won't put as much thought into these spreads because they tend to be more functional. I do like to match the highlighters to the color scheme when I can, and then I also am picking up the colors from the pre-decorated areas already. So that kind of helps tie everything together. But for the most part, it is pretty functional most of the time. So I don't bother doing a plan with me with this because it's usually just throwing some stickers there for some color, and that's it. And here is the last week. So that's how it turned out. This one I thought was actually pretty well laid out as far as design-wise. Picking up a few little items there in color and stickers, but overall still working with the predetermined theme and just adding some pops of yellow here and there and some green. And that basically does it for the social media planner. I have my overview that I do on the currently or the last page of the month, and just kind of do a quick review of the growth between the 2 months, and then set myself up for some goals in the coming month. And then I will put in, you know, anything that I want to be working towards, which I plan to do Plan Miss again this year. So if you guys liked last year's Plan Miss, hopefully I can get that together and give you guys a full month of videos like I did last year and get you all set up for 2022. Okay, so November's already in there. Let me just go ahead and move October out. And this is the last planner I'll be showing you, which is my social. And again, I did replace the discs. So these used to be gold, now they're silver. Go all the way to the end and pop this guy in there. And that is it. So I have one more planner in the back of this section. I have the Etsy sales and budget. So that's my financial area of my catch-all here. Again, I don't show it, but I have a perpetual calendar very similar to the social growth calendar that has my daily sales in Etsy, and then I also have a budget monthly, which I did do a setup video of that last year, I think. It might have been as far as last year, but it's basically mostly focused in on bill pay and income in and out, and then just a quick overview of expenses. That is it, you guys, and the rest of the planner you can see in my planner setup video if you really want to know more about that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!